Podcasting from Lund, Sweden, the home of the internationally acclaimed Lund University, 4,800 king spots for bicycles, and one of the most advanced X-ray laboratories in the world, Max 4. This is Intronauts, bringing you inside the Max 4 facility, where you get to meet some of the greatest minds and the explorers of tomorrow. I am your host, Toril Kornfeldt.
And I'm your co-host, Laura Roster. And today we'll chat with a few of the employees dedicating a great part of their lives to making the world a better place. I'm excited and more than a little curious what drives them. This is the reception area. So we'll start out at the very entrance in reception of Max 4, where Åse Hofwing is working. So Åse, you've been here for a couple of years, and you're used to work at a hotel, I believe. What's the difference between these two workplaces?
Yeah, I've been here at Max 4 for 1 year now. And there is a lot of differences actually between working at the reception here and at the hotel. Mostly because at the hotel you handle guests in a way, and here it's mostly colleagues and also some visitors coming in. But at the hotel it's more or less that they should either get their room or pay for their room. But here it could be so many more different questions and areas. So that's probably the biggest differences.
Yeah, and as we can hear, there's a lot of people coming in and out all of the time. Is it challenging or difficult to work with so many different type of people and all of these scientists coming and going at all hours?
Well, no, I don't think so, because most of the people coming in, they don't want anything from us. They see us more like a help or something like that. We are a service to them. So I don't think it's difficult at all, actually.
So what does a normal day look like when you work here?
I would actually say that there is not a normal day because it differs so much, since you don't really know who is coming, what they will ask for, and what other tasks you have. So a lot of meetings and helping, for example, I do a lot of help for the HR department and also for the central project office. So there is actually not a normal day for me, I would say.
So how did you end up working here at Max 4?
I wanted a new job since I was a little bit tired of my old one. So I looked at a lot of different ads, and this one was very interesting to me because it was part-time reception, where you are the eye out, or how you say, and part of it was also the back office duties. So actually, as what I said before about that no day is the same, it differs a lot, that is very appealing to me. So probably that's why.
So what is the most exciting thing about working here? Where's the most fun or the thing that makes you the most happy?
The thing that makes me the most happy is my colleagues, I would say. I really much like my group, my working group. We have a lot of fun together. Max 4 is a cool place to work. It's so many different people working here. And again, what I said about me having so many different tasks, it's also something that keeps me up.
What are the different types of people that you meet here that work here at Max 4?
Yeah, the people working here is, in my group, it's the financial department together with the office services. And then you have the scientists and you have so many different working groups. You have the communication group and the user office group. There are so many different groups, and that involves also different kind of people. And then we have the visitors coming in that can be classes from school, or there can be from other facilities like this one. They have also so many different backgrounds, and so to say. So yeah.
So the people who pass through here and the people that you meet every day, do you talk to them about their backgrounds and about the science that they're doing?
No, not much actually. But I mean, if a school class comes in, they act in one kind of way, and if it's scientists, they are maybe in another way. So you feel the energy, I would say, yeah.
Thank you so much, Åse. So nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
Våning 4, floor 4.
So now we're at the heart of Max 4, the cafeteria and dining area at the top floor. and we're here with two very interesting employees who work here. Silvia Forcat from Spain.
Hey, hello.
And Giulia Orlando from Italy.
Hey,
So what are your roles here?
So I'm mechanical engineer.
and I'm maintenance coordinator.
So what do you talk about when you meet here in the lunch area?
We were just talking about doing a girls' night out to dinner, so things like this.
Yeah, or that we have some problems with the best coffee machine there that is often out of order. So that's at least I talk many times about that when I'm here.
Aye. So it's a bit noisy right here. Let's go find a quieter table. So lunchtime discussions are about the weather and I guess about family and girls' nights out and things like that. At a place like this, you kind of expect that everybody talks about science all the time.
Not always.
Not always, no.
I think it depends on groups. I would say the physicists that they sit together, they will always be talking about physics, but other groups, not so much.
My feeling is that even if you talk about something else, still the people are very prepared technically on what they are speaking about. If you would say, I want to buy a new car, then you will get super good suggestions about what you can do.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm learning so much since I started to work here, just coming to lunch and talking to my colleagues that I never did before.
Yeah, sounds like a good place to work from that perspective. It's always someone who knows a lot of things at your table.
Yeah. And if the person sitting to you doesn't know, that person will send you to somebody else that will know. So, it's good.
So, as far as talking about work, you both work in different areas with the beamlines, where the different experiments are taking place. And could you explain a little bit about what you do individually at MAX4?
I'm maintenance coordinator. I work at the beamline office and as a supporting function to the beamlines. Mostly my work deals with setting up common procedure for maintenance plan at the beamlines. So we try to do that in a homogeneous way in all the beamlines at MAX4, individuating which components need to be maintained and trying to set up some schedules to carry out these activities. And in parallel, I'm also working with other functions at engineering at MAX4 to set up software tool to manage our asset in a more effective way.
And I actually work in the same group as Giulia in Beamline office, but in my case I'm mechanical engineer, and this time I'm working for the Danmarks Beamline, the new Danish Beamline here at MAX4. And it's a bit difficult to explain, but let's say that I'm designing machines or mechanical components that are installed at the beamline. The beamline has different rooms and areas, and different things are happening in these rooms. And basically, I build these prototype machines to install them there.
Yeah, so it sounds like both of you collaborate with a lot of different people and scientists and other engineers from all over the world, I guess. What's that like?
No, that's true. I don't know what's the percentage, but I don't know, maybe it's 50-50 of Swedish personnel to other countries' workers, but I think it's really good. It's interesting. It brings new perspectives and experiences. People work in different labs and they all bring their experience, and it makes it richer, I would say. And yeah, we all have to collaborate between groups to make things happen.
Yeah.
Mm. So both of you have sort of moved to Sweden quite recently. What was your first impressions of Sweden and of Lund coming here?
Yeah, I moved here like 7 years ago, something more than that. And my first impression was that people were very kind and nice, much more silent than the Italians, but also much more reserved. So it took me much more time than what I was used to make friends or get more close to people.
Yeah, the same for me. I was coming from Barcelona and people invite you for a beer right after your first day at work or things like this. And here it took some time for people to get to know me, to trust me, let's say, and to talk to each other. And yeah, but later that's it. Once they know who you are and that you're okay person, and
it just takes a bit
the
more.
relationship and then the friendship and so on.
So how do you find Sweden now, living here?
Yeah, I feel like I became a strange hybrid. So I don't feel Swedish, but I don't feel Italian 100% anymore. So when I go back home, I start asking my relatives, can you please speak not so loudly? Or can you don't speak all together? So I feel something in between. And what I always say is that I think it's a great place to be an engineer and a mom at the same time. I feel like I can do both things together and I don't have to choose between one of them. And that's, at this moment in my life, it's a great thing.
Yeah, I would say the same. And I do the same when I go back to Barcelona. And for example, in the store or whatever. Here in Sweden, you make a line and a queue for everything. And then there is more chaotic. And it's like, which number I am? Who is the last one? Things like this that you miss from Sweden. But but although I appreciate more the sun there. But
I think the weather might be the worst thing here. So from a working perspective, what's it like working in a Swedish workplace, and what's it like working at Max 4 compared to other places you've been before?
I like the work-life balance. Here it's quite ideal, I would say, that you cannot find in every country and in every lab, I would say. Similar even to lab like Max 4 in other places. I like this, the flexibility and understanding also of the company or bosses towards your own problems or potential problems. And
I think before coming here, I was working in a multinational energy company in Malmö, but the environment was very Swedish and that helped me a lot. It was like quite a cultural shock because it was very different from what I was used in Italy. I was working in the same company but in Italy, and it was a completely different world. So it took me some months to understand that, for example, these meetings I had the feeling that we were not actually deciding anything, but it was not like that. I just had to learn to read and translate the Swedish way to say yes or no, which is so much different from mine. And that helped me a lot here, I think. And then it's much more international, so it's a bit softened.
So this environment we have at Max 4, do you get that everywhere when you're working in different departments, different areas with different groups?
I would think so, because Max 4, as you know, started as a very small lab and it was a very small family. And this family got to grow slowly up to now to the big facility where, the family grew. But I think still doesn't matter where you work, that I think we are still a big family, but still a family. And we do things together and everybody understands. I think here people understand well that working together we get a good success. And I think that makes it good for every department.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And it still works like that you have a personal contact with people. If you have a problem, you just take the phone and it still works, even if the family, as Silvia said, has become so much bigger.
When we were at the coffee machine, you mentioned that you were kind of planning a girls' night out. Is there a lot of like partying or celebrating or coming together sort of outside of office hours here?
There is a friendship club. Yeah. I don't know who is in there, but I know they plan activities. There is a volleyball gathering. I know there was a sewing club. I learned this.
Yes, a sewing club, yes.
And there are activities. I don't know if all of them include alcohol at night and going dancing. This is maybe more us.
We can get better, maybe.
Yeah. But there is activities done here.
And as far as what you like about working here, what are some of the things that stand out for you?
The thing is that when I come to work, I really feel that I'm doing something useful for the society and the world, even if I'm not a scientist and I'm not discovering anything myself, but still I support them in doing that. And that makes me feel very well. That's the first thing. And then it's a very relaxed environment. I feel free to be even creative in my work. I have a lot of freedom in that, and I can propose something, and in the worst case, it's I get a no back. But I still always feel free to say what I would like to do.
Yeah, I agree with Giulia that I'm not a scientist. I'm not inventing something. I'm not discovering the cure of anything. But let's say that my machines or what I design is where such
good experiments are going to happen, and I feel that I'm contributing to it. I'm contributing to research with my work, and that it's good. I like it.
So now that you're in Sweden, working in Sweden, have you adopted the Swedish fika culture?
Oh, yeah.
In the previous workplace, I felt like I had to go, and then I went there. But when I'm concentrated, I just want to keep on working, so I have to admit that here at Max 4 I skip it. That's fine with me.
But Silvia is a big...
I love fikas. Yeah. No, I think many people does here fika at time, and the schedule or the time changes depending your meetings and so, but I think around 2:30 or so, if you come up the cafeteria, you can find people and you can talk to them. And sometimes in meetings, somebody bakes something and brings a cake and everybody eats from that. That we do.
I should start to come then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been really nice having you here. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to Intronauts with me, Toril Kornfeldt and Laura Rastar. If you like the show, please leave us a nice review on iTunes.
And don't forget to tune in for our next episode, where we get to speak with director Ian McNulty and his vision for the next 50 years here at Max 4.